Welcome back. It is Monday, October 28th in the NBA. My four best bets are on the way, as well as a brand new segment for these daily videos. I'll talk about that in just one moment. If you are new, my name's Austin from Calling Our Shot. As always, we start off with a recap of the previous day, a 1-2 day. Anthony Simons went over in points. The other two were kind of annoying. Jalen Johnson got into foul trouble and couldn't make any shots. So combine those two things, you're probably not hitting a 21.5 points plus assist line. And the Bucks and Nets same game parlay had four legs. The fourth one, Bucks money line. They lost the Brooklyn Nets. I don't know what the heck they're doing, but hey, it's going to happen. It's a Sunday, 1-2. I'm feeling pretty good about how we're looking at these picks. We finally have some data to kind of base off the picks. I think we're about to go on a hot streak, so stay tuned for this run, and hopefully we can have a good one. A reminder, there's that sleeper promo until Thursday, Halloween, where you get a 200% deposit match using code COS and a free square. Don't know if the free squares for the NFL or the NBA today. Here's where the video is going to go, but either way, sign up using our code COS or the link in the description. Also, there's an NFL video live. Either way, let's dive into the picks today. We're going to start with my favorite pick of the day. Then we're going to go to the new segment. Then we're going to go to Logan, and then we're going to wrap up with another prop and a same-game parlay. Here we go. One of my favorite picks of the day, Alperen Sengun of the Houston Rockets over 16.5 points, minus 105 on Bet365 for 1 unit. And then we're also playing just a quarter unit on Sengun to score 20-plus points at plus 210 on Bet365. Trust me, I wanted to do the 25-plus points, which is plus 700 on DraftKings, but I didn't want to go to the 25. If he scores 25, I honestly wouldn't even be mad because we would have cashed the 25 or the 20 plus at plus 210. I feel a little bit of a FOMO with the 25 plus, but it is what it is. Let me talk with Sengun though, and why I like this points line. If it does bump up to 17.5, I obviously still like it. I have money on him to score 20 plus. Now, in their first game versus San Antonio, the Rockets will once again play San Antonio here. Sengun didn't play well. 6 points, 2 for 8, 22 minutes. So he didn't play a lot of minutes. Now, you could read into that and be like, dang, they just don't like him in this matchup. But I would argue it wasn't really that. He had a little bit of foul trouble in there, and he was benched the final 16 minutes of the game because they were getting blown out. And then Ime Udoka, the Rockets head coach, put in kind of a small ball lineup, and that lineup got him back in the game in the fourth quarter. So he just didn't end up going to Sengun late in that game, where Sengun typically is probably getting in at the 8-minute mark. He just didn't play there. Sengun's a guy, I mean, just like any NBA player, if you go out there, score 6 points when you're used to scoring 15 to 20, and you shoot poorly, you typically are going to try hard the next game and bounce back. And I like this matchup for him. 3 games versus Wembanyama last year, 25 points on 11 of 18, 15 on 6 of 12, and then 45 points on 19 of 32 shooting. So he honestly cooked Wembanyama in some of these games. 25, hey, sign me up if he wants to go out there and do that. And the reasoning behind that is, sure, Wembanyama's a great defender. He'll block some shots. But the Spurs aren't going to send help to Wembanyama unless he's getting absolutely torched, which even then I don't think they would. They'll let him take his lumps if that's the case. So you're going to see Wembanyama guard Sengun one-on-one, and you could argue, sure, maybe Wembanyama has an advantage there, but Sengun in the first game, he had plenty of post hooks and shots in the paint. He just missed them. Wembanyama blocked one of them, but he missed some shots that I'm used to seeing him make, and he's made them plenty of times. Last year, we saw Sengun average 21.1 points per game. He was over the regular line 16.5 in 49 of 63 games, and then the 20-plus in over half of the games, 35 of 63. So, look, I understand Wembanyama is going to be a tougher matchup for most guys, but Sengun should be able to go one-on-one against him. And coming off a game that he just sucked in and got benched in, I think he bounces back here. I think he hits the volume. I think we see close to 12 to 16 field goal attempts. And if he's just not making them, whatever, we'll live with it. But for 1 unit, I like his over 16.5 points. And just for an extra 3 points to give me plus 210, I feel like I got to take a shot there. So just for a quarter unit on the 20 plus, he's my favorite player prop of the day. I really like Sengun tonight. I like his over in points. I consider doing an SGP, like a 15.6 rebounds and 2 assists, but that felt like I was getting a little bit too cute. Instead, I'll just count on the points. Sengun, we need 17. Ideally, we need 20 plus tonight. Go score 30 for all I care. I like Alperen Sengun over in points. Now we need to talk about the new segment alert. I have seen this thing going around. Obviously, a lot of people know me for doing the ladder challenge, and that's, maybe we'll have one today or tomorrow. Also, I want to note, I might actually add a play today down below in the pinned comment, so stay tuned for that. Let's talk about this new segment. What is it going to be? It's going to be kind of me just trying to find a pick that's between minus 250 and minus 500 and seeing how many we can hit in a row, doubling our money. I've seen people say, if you do it for a whole month, you can turn like $10 into Actually, I don't really know how much they start with. I don't know. So you can make a good amount of money. So we're going to test it out. It's not exactly the ladder challenge. It is, I guess, maybe a step stool. I don't really know, but we're going to just kind of pick. I'm going to find a pick. It's normally going to be a prop that I love. I don't see losing. And we're just going to see how many we can hit in a row and roll it over. And if it becomes a meaningful amount, cool. Here's today's pick. Jamal Murray, 15 plus points, minus 420 right now on FanDuel. I'm going to start with a quarter unit, which is $25 for me. If you want to go with a quarter unit for you, whatever that is, sure. If you want to go for more or less, it's up to you. I think Jamal Murray scores 15 points tonight, and I'll talk about why in a second. But again, I'm not going to track this towards my record. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I can track it if you want a quarter unit. I don't know when I'm going to pull out at the end of the day. I mean, if I make it up to $250, I might pull out. I don't really know. We're just going to take it with in stride. But I like Jamal Murray, and here's why. The Raptors, not a team I really fear too much. Jokic coming off a 40-plus point game. I don't know if he shoots as much tonight. Also, Jamal Murray grew up an hour outside of Toronto. So he doesn't get to play in Toronto all too often in Canada. I think the volume will be there. I'm going to be honest, this Nuggets team sucks. They really are not good. They have no scoring on that team. So I think you see Jamal Murray get the usage. He'll want to put on a show in front of some I imagine he has a lot of friends and family in attendance tonight. You look at his track record in Toronto, normally the volume's pretty high. So I like him here. I like him for 15 plus points. I consider taking his regular line at 20.5. I don't hate that, but I'm just for my day one of this new segment, which give me some ideas for naming the segment. I don't know, I really don't know. Maybe the steps. Give me some names for the segment down below. But Jamal Murray is my first play at 15 plus points, minus 420. Turn $25 into 31, 32. All right, I'm putting a cut in the video because when I was editing, I kind of want to bring up some more numbers for this new segment. So on the screen, you'll see what you would look like if you started with $25 and only did exclusively minus 500. So you'll see you start with 25. If you hit one in a row, now you'd have 30, so on and so forth. 2 in a row, 36, 3 in a row, 43. You can see if you hit 20 straight, you'd be at nearly $1,000. Now, obviously, the idea of, hey, if I had 20 straight, Austin, that's never going to happen. And maybe you're right. But also, we're never going to stick to just minus 500. Heck, today's is minus 420. I could have added maybe another thing in there to get it closer to minus 250. So that multiplier is going to go up. And at the end of the day, it's your favorite pick that you just don't see losing. It's not going to be a money line because I'm probably never going to do money lines. But I think it's a cool kind of new segment sort of thing. We'll see if it flops, then it flops. We're donating our 0.25 unit. You don't have to start with $25. If that's a lot for you, please don't. Start with a quarter unit, whatever that is. If you want me to track it towards my record, I can do that as well. It's a little tricky because I don't know when exactly I would pull out of this sort of challenge, but I guess we'll figure that out as the time goes on. I don't think I'm just going to roll with it until we hit $10,000 like we might do the ladder challenge, but maybe we roll it over until we make $500 and then we get out of there. I don't know. But either way, I hope you guys like the new segment. I'm going to throw it back to the video and enjoy. So tomorrow, if Jamal Murray gets 15 plus, I'll have another one tomorrow that I really like. Now I'm going to throw it to Logan for his favorite spread pick of the day. This will be the only spread pick in this video. It's because I really like Logan and Logan's was going to be mine. So we'll just stick to one spread pick, half unit. Logan, I'll let you take it away.
For my best spread pick of the day, you see, guys, I'm repping the gear. I'm taking the Orlando Magic minus 6.5, minus 110 odds on FanDuel is currently your best value. Now, let's talk a little bit about this line because it's up to 6.5. I liked it a whole lot better at 5.5. It opened actually at 3.5. This line has been ticking heavily towards Orlando, and for good reason, right? This is a very bad spot for the Pacers. They just played an overtime game against the Sixers, and now on a back end of a back-to-back, they're traveling to Orlando, facing a really good Magic team as well. Indiana last season was not good on the back end of a back-to-back. They were just 3-10 against the spread last season. That was the worst in the NBA. So we got to test that theory this season. I know it's early, but we got to put that to test. And Orlando, a really good home team last year as well, 30-13 against the spread last year. That was best in the NBA. I bet a few times against the Orlando Magic in Orlando, and I was like, what am I doing? I mean, this team, they just play a lot differently at Orlando. Their identity will always be tough defense. So far, Orlando 5th in points per game allowed. Their defense is. So hopefully they can once again play like that today against an Indiana team that normally wants to get out and run. They want to establish pace. They just want to get a lot of shots up. Tired legs plus Orlando's great defense, though. I think that's a recipe for not a great Pacers game. This year, the Pacers offense has work to do to catch up to last year's marks as well. They're just 26 in points per game scored, 30th in three-point percentage, and at just under 20%. They are not shooting the three all that well so far this season. So again, Orlando, a really good defensive team. Hopefully they can keep them in check. Magic, led by Banchero and Franz Wagner, will stretch out the lead in the fourth and get us the cover. I know 6.5 is not an easy number to cover. There is always backdoor potential, but I really do think the Magic, they just play hard for all 4 quarters. Magic get the winning cover for us. I love that as my best bet of the day. But Austin, throwing it back to you for another pick.
Again, we both really like the Magic. I don't have a spread pick that I love today. I have one that I'm about to talk about in a second, but I'm going to take the prop instead. Let's talk about this guy, and it's going to be Damian Lillard, over 21.5 points, minus 120 on ESPN Bet. My spread pick today I'd consider making the Bucks an official pick. However, I hate them. They screwed me last night with Bucks money line, but wouldn't it be so on brand if the Bucks lose back-to-back games as big favorites to the Bulls and the Nets? Now they face the overpowered Celtics and they keep it close. Yeah, that would probably be how the NBA works. I swear that's how it always works. And a team coming off an ugly loss, you got to imagine they're going to try hard tonight. Damian Lillard, I like at 22.5 as well, if that's all you got. The Celtics defense, obviously, we know it's very good. They get Drew Holiday, Derek White, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, those guys. But what their defense wants you to do is they want your guards to go out there and score. So that's why we see Jalen Brunson typically have big games against them. The Knicks got smoked, so nothing you can do there. And the Bucks could get smoked here too. But I think Damian Lillard's going to have to be pretty aggressive tonight shooting the basketball. If he doesn't make his shots, that's fine. We'll live with it. This season, Lillard, we've seen score 30, 28, and then 21 points on 19, 21, and 13 field goal attempts, plus an additional 7, 3, and 11 free throw attempts. We know Lillard, one of the best guys at getting to the line. If he gets a guy behind him, pause, he can back it up into him and get to the free throw line. I don't know where this video is going, so if you're this far in, I appreciate you. But you know that's Lillard's game. He can get to the free throw line with the best of them. And also the Celtics play a lot of drop coverage with Al Horford or Luke Cornett, whoever's in the game, and that can sometimes lead to some pull-up threes, which they give up a lot of pull-up threes and a lot of pull-up jump shots. And why? Because they normally stay tight on their shooters. They want to beat you. We know the Celtics, they're spamming three-pointers on the other side. So on defense, they don't want to give up a ton of three-pointers unless it's from those guards that are doing those pull-up shots. We've seen in 4 games versus Boston last year, Lillard, 27, 21, 32, and 12 points. The 12 came in a game I think I was at when they got smoked. The Bucks smoked the Celtics. The Celtics benched all their starters at halftime. But you've seen in those games 24, 12, 21, and 11 field goal attempts. So when he got the usage, he went over this line, and his 2 highest scoring games when he hit the over were both actually at Boston. And that's not usually a big surprise where stars tend to show up a little bit better on the road because your role players, you probably aren't expecting them to knock down shots. And maybe they don't knock down shots in that first quarter. You're like, all right, I'm not passing it to you anymore. We saw, and with Portland, Dame had hit this over in 6 straight versus Boston prior to getting traded to Milwaukee. Last year, we know he was a beast. He averaged 24.9 points per game on back-to-back. So if you're concerned about him with no rest, average 25 a game. This should be an elite volume spot for Lillard. I think we see him approach 15 to 20 field goal attempts. If this game is even close, this should be a good spot. I think if the Celtics are going to stop anything, it's probably going to be looking at Giannis trying to slow him down. But I think Lillard, if he's making shots, they're going to live with it because they trust their Drew Holiday and Derek White defending him. So they're going to live with it unless Lillard's suddenly 10 for 10 and they're like, all right, we got to change some defense, our defensive scheme out there. But by then he's already soared over the 22 points that we need. So I like Damian Lillard over 21.5 points as my second prop of the day, third pick of the video. And then, well, I don't know if you count that new segment. I don't know, whatever. The fourth and final pick will be our daily SGP. Yes, the last 2 have been brutal, but we're bouncing back with a winner here today. It's the Cavaliers big men. Here's the 2-leg SGP, and it's not 2 legs, it's 4 legs. I forgot. Jared Allen, 10-plus points and 6-plus rebounds, and Evan Mobley, his teammate, 10-plus points and 6-plus rebounds. This is minus 117 on FanDuel, playing this for 1 unit. I like both these guys at 7. I will note I like Mobley a little more at 7 than Allen, but I think they both can get 7 rebounds. Maybe you're on Bet365, and that's all you got. I like this one. I don't have a great individual line. I kind of looked at Mobley's over in points or points plus assists or points plus rebounds. That's going to be pretty popular. I just think this should not be minus 117. I think this should be minus 200 or worse. We've seen the books price this at minus 200 or worse because we've taken this exact play before. And maybe we'll be back on it in the next game. Because we've seen so far this season, Mobley, 25-9, 16-6, 13-13. So he's a perfect 3 for 3 on his 10-6. Allen, not as great, but 14-7, 17-11, 23-5. So this parlay is 2 for 3. His only miss was Allen not getting that 6th rebound, and Mobley at 13. So he stole all of them. We need more of a balanced attack here, Mr. Mobley. But look, the reason I like this and the reason I like them to get those points is because the Knicks have been pretty bad defensively where they score. This season, opponents are shooting 78.8% on 26 field goal attempts. So it's not like it's on 3 or 4 field goal attempts per game. 26 field goal attempts within 5 feet from the rim. So basically at the rim, teams are absolutely destroying the Knicks. And that's the highest in the league, in case you're curious. The Knicks just don't have any rim protection. Karl-Anthony Towns, not known for being a rim protector as much. Mitchell Robinson, their main rim protector, he's obviously out. So when you get inside, you're having a lot of success. And that's where Mobley and Allen do the majority of their scoring. It's inside, especially Allen. He's basically at the rim nonstop. So look, I think this is a great spot to back both of them to score. I like the rebounding for Mobley a little bit more because Mobley's probably the guy that guards Josh Hart, probably the guy that you're going to leave open if you're the Cavaliers until he starts making threes. And then for Allen, sure, he'll have to guard Karl-Anthony Towns most likely, but Cat's really not involved in a lot of pick and rolls. Unless they change up how they've been playing the first few games. So you'll see Allen sure have to go out and contest some Cat 3-pointers, but I also think he'll be able to get some offensive rebounds tonight because they just don't have a lot of size to box out this Cavaliers team. And Cat is a good rebounder, but I think you'll see Allen at least get a couple chances there. So again, I like this 10 points, 6 rebounds. I like it for both of them. -117. Like I said, I think this should be closer to -200, -250. So I'll take a shot here. I almost actually put Mobley for 10 plus points into my new segment and try to do Jamal Murray and Mobley, but I'll stick to 1 today. Maybe tomorrow we do 2. I don't really know. We'll figure it out. Those are my favorite picks. A reminder, I might add a play. Check the pinned comment. NFL, if you want to check out my favorite picks for that game, Giants and Steelers, that is linked somewhere on the screen. I'll probably have another ladder challenge play. Maybe it'll be in the NBA, maybe NFL. Maybe I'll do one for each. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Stay tuned. Check out all the others. Check out all my socials at Call on a Shot, anywhere you want to find me. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, you name it. It's Austin signing out. See you guys in the next one. Peace.